Is that good, Onyx? Oh, I think that's really good. You like that. Clean that plate. Oh, yeah.
Hi. Hi. My name's Amber. This is my channel, Read for Life.
Onyx. Hi, baby. You tired now?
I read an article about a study that said people's intelligence is not measured by what they have read in the past. It's measured by what you're going to read. So when you have that stack of books of things that you're going to read, that's what your intelligence is measured by. And I find that really interesting. So I'm going to share with you some of my picks to read, and we'll see what that says about my future intelligence. Okay, first book. The first book on my list to read is Regarding the Pain of Others. And this is the most serious book. It's really tiny, just to show you comparison. So it looks like a little tiny pocket Bible, but it's supposed to be about what does it mean as a society when we purchase things, take pictures of things, have memorabilia about pain and suffering from other people, and then we keep that in our house. Another example that I think that the book is going to talk about, most people have read Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This right here is Made a Mouse, and it's a conversation between him and Hilary Shute, another writer. And one of the big questions that Art Spiegelman had in his mind is it okay to write about the Holocaust? That's not his story, that's his dad's story. And then can he portray it in a way that's appropriate and respectful, and then make money off of that and become a celebrity off of the pain and suffering of other people? So I'm pretty excited to just dive into this. It's going to be very thought-provoking, and I'll come back and share some of that with you. The next book on my to-read list is The Travelling Cat Chronicles. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited for this one. And it's supposed to be told from the point of view of the feline, which is awesome. It's also a translation, meaning it was written in another country and by someone that doesn't speak English, or at least it was not written in English. And that always provides a neat perspective when reading because, well, first of all, languages don't always translate. But if you grow up with a different language, if you grow up with a different culture, it changes your perspective of how you see Amal Unbound. And just, well, the cover is too beautiful. I don't even need to say anything. And I can't wait to read Someday by David Levithan. So he wrote this other book called Everyday Someday. But in Everyday, a entity, I don't know what it is. Was it male? Was it female? I don't know. An entity would take over the body of a teenager. And always the teens were about the same age. I'm thinking like between 16 and 18. They're in high school in that time of hormones, confusion, and romantic love. And this entity would take over a body for one day and get to be that person, have some of the memories and the feelings that that person had. But the next day, the entity, whatever it is, would be in another body. But that entity has the memories of all of these different people. And the most amazing part of it is that this being falls in love with a real person, a person that is consistently the same person every single day. And they try to make this relationship work. And it was so intriguing and so beautiful. I have no idea what he's done in this book, but he's just a genius writer, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And then, me, I have a couple of graphic novels that I'm really looking forward to reading, and I want to start this series. It's called Pretty Deadly. Just looking honestly at the covers and knowing that this is something that would interest me by how the cover looks. And people, again, say you can't judge a book by its cover, but in graphic novels, I feel like, hey, maybe that's not true.
First, you chop some peppers. You also have to have a cute whisker, not on your face. Okay, after the peppers look just like so good, then you go ahead and you pour your egg. Oh yeah, That's looking so good. And doesn't it just look like an omelet? Salt. Oh yeah, onion salt. Threw my pepper on there, and now I'm just gonna do some, a little bit of, you know, spice this morning. All apart. So you have to make sure that it's cooked long enough. See, that's what it looks like once it's flipped. Pizza sauce on top of that. After that, you get your Daiya cheese. You throw some cheese on top of them. Dried basil, that I grew the basil and then dried it in the oven, and oh, it's just gonna be so good.
And then after all that work, it just feels so good to sit down and just take your first bite. So good. And of course, I'm using a cute little fork. You noticed I used a pretty plate. All right, readlings, read a lot, eat well, be happy. See you next time. I've been trying to think of a way to, like, you know, flash the Read for Life sign that's a little more, just not just like throw it up there. I want to do a snap and come into it, but that's a little bit hard. It doesn't really, the movement of the snap doesn't flow into it. So if you think of something else, and I can't, it's hard to do with both hands, try. Help me out here, send me some tips.
Easy. Easy.
Thanks for stopping by. Go ahead, hit like, subscribe. Catch you next time.